Hey guys, welcome back to Geek Critique. So I have this awesome interview with Mark Fergus, the executive producer of The Expanse. So here we talk a little bit about the challenges that come with adapting a book into a television series. Check it out.
So I had a question.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of season one, or just like throughout the beginning and middle of season one, you have a dynamic with the crew that you don't really have, in the books.
Right.
So now, how did you guys, do that? Because there's like that transitional period where Holden's kind of like struggling to gain power a little more.
Yeah.
And, did you write that? Did the authors come up with that? Was it like you kind of just threw the actors in and were like, you guys know how you guys would butt heads?
Yeah, no, it was a real conscious decision of the storytellers, of us, and Ty and Daniel. We had them as part of a writer's room so we could, have them really, we could test things out with them there and say, does this break the world you created? Does it violate anything or whatever? But what we really wanted there was, the screen loves conflict. It loves watching people butt heads. And we felt in the book, we're reading about a relationship. Like, this is them 5 years from now when they've all learned each other's rhythm and they've got each other's groove going. That's later. I don't want to start there. I want to start where they're kind of almost... one of our writers worked for a circus, and she said, like, when you go to the town, like you'd be in the traveling circus, and you work with people, you think you know them, then a crisis happens where you stop in a town and take a few, and you realize you don't know anybody, you don't know anything about them, you don't know who they really are, and so we wanted to approach the crew as we're going to get to know them as they get to know each other. Otherwise, I feel like we missed the most interesting part of their relationship, and the books were kind of past that already, so we just backed it up and said, let's go back a few years before they knew each other because they all work on an ice hauler together. They don't, they're all there to hide from their past. Now let's find out why they're hiding and let's have them get to know each other for real.
Yeah.
That's fun to watch on screen. And once you pass it, you can't ever come back. So we just decided to take their relationships backwards a few years in terms of how intimately they know each other. I think it creates a lot of fun for the actors and for us, and gives us somewhere to evolve.
Yeah, I guess it too gives them a little more diversity with emotions, range of emotions that they could show.
Yeah, because people who are buddies, there's only so much you can do with people who are buddies.
Yeah, because in the books they all already know each other's, faults and just kind of...
And they're kind of accepted each other, and we're like, no.
But then I guess that too gave you the liberty to fast forward a little bit and show facets of their life that we didn't know about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it gets us, we're trying to weave the novellas in, the backstories of what formed these people, and we're going to start bringing that in piece by piece. So even still, you don't know who these people are, especially someone like Amos. You don't really understand what broke him and what made him the way he is. Well, we're going to learn that, but it takes time, and I want to make sure that the audience gets little pieces of the past and little bits and pieces, and they don't ever get the full picture, not for a while anyway, because I think people are fascinated by the mysterious parts of the characters they don't understand yet. So we want to really use all of it, and again, once everybody is kind of reached a balance, that's why I always in shows when people finally jump into bed together, they're like, oh, now they're a couple, and all they will they or won't they is over, because they're now a couple, and now they have to sort that out, and something changes. So we just want to really use every piece of conflict we can between every one of those people. There's only 4 of them on the ship, so we got to really keep the conflict going and have them discover each other.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because I think too in the books you have a lot of traveling and stuff.
Yeah.
Where that on the screen gets a little
Nobody
mundane.
wants to watch traveling. Wow, we've been on the road for 3 weeks now. We
Got some more coffee.
We do the same thing, except it's in a cut. We go, okay, we cut from here to here, and 3 weeks has passed, trust us, and we just move on. But we try to keep the logic of time without boring anybody to death by saying it takes a long time to get from A to B in this universe. So I think it works better in a book than in a show, that kind of stuff. So we just try to dramatize everything. How does it feel on screen? Because the screen is very hungry for conflict. It always wants things to be clashing, and if they're not, people get restless. So.
Yeah, that's true.
So do you feel tonight to where the books lead you up, or are you Are you guys open to changing things
Yeah.
as the plot demands?
I think we have changed a lot without changing anything fundamental. Our goal is always just to respect the spirit of the books. Bobby Draper's story starts in book 2, and we've totally honored what her character goes through and everything that happens with her character. But I feel like we've made it more dramatic and added way more conflict to that story that already exists. So the goal is to have nobody feel like we changed anything, but we have, I think, dove in deeper to what the opportunity was in the book, but it doesn't feel like we've changed anything. We're like, oh my god, you changed the whole essence of someone's character or the whole basis of a comic. That's breaking things, and we don't want to go there. We always want to take what's there and go deeper. So I think one of the greatest things we heard from people season 1 is we felt like we have been really faithful to the book. And we have been, and we also haven't been. But the fact that it feels that way was really important to us, that it feels like the books that people love.
We're going to wrap here in just about a minute.
Okay.
I kind of want to know what it is about, since it airs on the Syfy network, what it is about that network that allows the series to really push boundaries.
Yeah, I mean, Syfy was one of the places where, in terms of, blazed trails in terms of television, what sci-fi science fiction the genre could do with Battlestar, and so it sort of set a standard. And what we wanted to do was go back to now that Syfy seems like they really ready to go further than Battlestar kind of set such a high bar, and to kind of see where else the genre could go and push past that. And these books came out, and we were ready to do a show, and Syfy was ready to really go back into that realm. And so I feel like it was just one of those perfect storms of when the material was there, the network was ready to go back into that, and we were ready to. So a lot of great things aligned, and a lot of it, to answer your question, is just luck and timing. Sometimes, and what's happening in television has made all these opportunities open up for a lot of us. So a lot of cool things happen, but it was kind of going full circle back to, we set a standard with Battlestar. Let's now get back and push even further and see if we can go back to, because no one's done I feel like no one ever did the show about the 200 years of colonization of space. Before we got to hyperdrive and aliens and amazing technology, there was like a whole bunch of centuries of fumbling our way off the planet and figuring it out. And I feel like that's the most interesting part of the story, and the genre tends to just skip that and get right to the crazy stuff. And we're like, how did we get there? How did we get to Star Trek and Galactica and all those? How did we, from Earth to the Moon to Mars, how did we get out there? And it's a great story, and that's what this show is about. And I feel like that was, by going backwards, I feel like we've gone forwards a little bit by backing the genre up to the stuff that was missed. We could tell a new kind of story and then also one of the great things, technology. When you take away technology, your storytelling opportunities just go crazy. Because think of Hitchcock movies before cell phones, and before cell phones have ruined like thrillers for me, but you take technology away because of vast distances and space and whatever, and not instant communication. Well, now you suddenly have all these dramatic possibilities that you lost because of technology. You get them back. So that's another reason we love when the story is set. We're not allowed to break the laws of physics for our convenience. So.
I'm going to grab you.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.